We'll continue our discussion on machines. Today we are going to see class 3 levers. We have completed class 2 levers and class 1 levers in earlier videos. We've been discussing that the difference between class 1 lever, class 2 lever and class 3 lever is what is there in the middle. If it is fulcrum, then it is called class 1 lever. If it is load, it is called class 2 lever, and if it is effort, then that is called class 3 lever. So class 3 lever is nothing but where the effort is in between the load and the fulcrum, and the load and fulcrum will be on either side of the effort, and effort can be placed anywhere in the middle. And also effort and load, both of them are in opposite directions. Here again we see mechanical advantage and velocity ratio is always 1, whereas in class 2 levers it is always greater than 1. That we can, with the same analogy, that we can understand why mechanical advantage and velocity ratio are less than 1. Mechanical advantage is nothing but, as we have discussed, it is about load by effort. So, or effort arm by load arm. For levers, we can also write load by effort as effort arm by load arm as well. So, the effort arm here is always smaller than the load arm. It's always smaller because effort is in between force and fulcrum and the load. Since the effort arm is always smaller, so the mechanical advantage will always be smaller than 1, that is always less than 1. Velocity ratio is also less than 1 because velocity ratio is also nothing but distance travelled by effort divided by the distance travelled by the load. Since effort is in the middle, so the distance, that is this height travelled by this height of the effort is always less than the height of this load, that is this height. So effort always rises by a less height compared to the load. That's why they are always act as a speed multiplier, because they cannot act as a force multiplier, because we need to apply more effort to lift even a smaller load, but they can act as speed multipliers. What are the examples of class 3 levers? The examples of class 3 levers are sugar tongs and tweezers. This is a sugar tong. If we take a sugar tong, this is where we are lifting the load, that is load is here, and then we are applying effort here. So the effort is in the middle, and then fulcrum is at this end. So since the effort is in the middle, this is called a class 3 lever. Human arm, take the human arm as well. Human arm, while we are lifting any weight, so this is where the load acts, and then the fulcrum is at the end, and then this is where our effort is. So the fulcrum is at the end, the fulcrum is in the end. It is, you should not get confused between whether this muscle is behind the elbow or before the elbow. It is actually before the elbow. The load we always apply before the elbow. Spade is also another example. In the spade also, this is where we lift the load. So the load is here, and then we are going to apply the fulcrum is, we with one hand we will hold this end, and then the other hand we will use to apply our effort. So this is where our effort is. Since the effort is in the middle, so it is called class 3 lever. So this is the completion of class 1, class 2, class 3 levers, and in the next video we are going to look at pulleys.